Hi guys, what's going on, and welcome back to another episode of Warhammer Total War 2. So we've got a bit of an epic battle lined up today. It's going to be the Dark Elves with their enormous army versus the Lizardmen. So we've got quite a few different units arrayed out in front of us. I'll move those Dark Riders over to one of the flanks. So sort of the bulk of our army is made up of sort of the core Dark Elf units. Is like the Halberdiers, these really badass looking dudes over here. Then we've also got a lot of Black Heart Corsairs. Wow, they look cool. Cool great swords. We've got the Dread Spears and the Bleak Swords and a lot of the standard units making up the bulk of the army. We've also got my favourite unit in the entire game, the 5-headed War Hydra, which is just such a what an truly awesome unit. It looks so vicious. And another unit which I've not actually used before, the Cold One Dread Knights. They're basically people on raptors. I mean, how awesome can you get there? They're armoured, they're cataphract raptors, which I just think is fantastic. So we've got a few of them to play with as well. We've got a large rows of bolt-throwing artillery at the back of the map. Hopefully I've positioned these high enough on the hill to be able to shoot over our own infantry and provide support. And we've also got some harpies, yes, lurking around on the flanks. A few harpies to provide a bit of support as well. We've got various sorceresses and lords dotted throughout the battlefield, one in the middle and one on each flank to provide support. So, without really further ado... Oh, and we've also got a black dragon. I just forgot to mention that one. A rather poisonous looking black dragon, a pretty cool dude. So, let's hop into this battle and see how it goes. My god, it's quite an army we're facing off against. With them all rather vicious looking Lizardmen. I think we're out of range of our artillery at the moment, they are. But if they begin any form of advancing, then they should venture into range. I'm curious to see if they're going to do anything, or if they're expecting me to make the first move. Which, given the sort of lack of movement, would suggest that they probably are. So we can move up some of perhaps our archers as a skirmishing force, maybe. We haven't got that many archers. We'll put them into a little group. We could advance them down a flank, or we're going to advance them all together. Okay, we move forwards. Let's see what range these guys have got. As soon as these guys start to advance forwards, our artillery should start to open up. Although maybe we should move this black dragon because I don't want him to get hit by a bolt unintentionally. This is probably a little bit silly really, because I guess we're immediately going to get charged as soon as... Oh, something's opened fire! Something big has opened fire. Wow, it's like a solar cannon on the back of a... I don't even know what that is. Some form of dinosaur. Right, keep moving forwards. Shoot that thing, basically. Fast forward this bit so we get into range. Okay, so hopefully our archers are going to start to open fire. Oh, it's doing something. Look at that thing. I have no idea what it's going to do, but I suspect it's probably going to be bad for me. It's got a flapping antennae. Well, it's taking quite a bit of missile fire. Well, they are starting to make a move now. Okay. Time to run. Run away. Oh, okay. We certainly cannot run away quick enough. Okay, our bolt throwers have opened up themselves. Oh, some good hits straight into their enemy cavalry there. Their Cold One Horned cavalry. Looks like their whole army is now on the march. So let's move up with our harpies around the back of the map. These guys are flying, so they should be okay from a safety point of view. All our artillery is fully firing away at will. This thing is... Well, I'm not quite sure what's happening there. All our archers have kind of got caught a little bit in the open, so that's not so good for them. These guys over here, what are they? Mace infantry. We could look at charging them with some of our Dark Riders, but we'll just wait to see what the enemy are going to do first. These guys have obviously received, some sort of poison or something. We'll use our sorceress to do some magic against some of their enemy units. They obviously should still be taking... Let's move our bleak swords in to support this fight. Charge! Into the back of these really heavy cavalry units. Look at those guys, they're masses of plate. But they are against the Black Guard. Wow. Okay. This is a lot to deal with at once. So we're going to send some of the Dark Riders in. What's happened to... We'll send the War Hydra in. He can definitely get in for a fight. We'll set some of these to target thing. We've got some Halberdiers targeting the Stegodon. We've got our Dreadlord here. He can try and get stuck in to kill some of these larger beasts. My god, this is just chaos. So let's try and get our dragon in. To try and get a bit more stuck into the action. Our artillery is sort of still behind the lines, rapidly firing away. Let's unleash our raptors on these guys now. So there's masses of battles going on all over the place. What's happened to my War Hydra? Well, that's deep behind enemy lines. Oh, a big thing is dead. Sorry, I'm not very good at this name thing. I don't know the name of all the Lizardmen properly. There's quite a bit of fire coming on against this feral bastardon or whatever it is. Let's try and get some of these more people involved. These people are trying to break the back of these mace infantry. It would be quite good if they could break them and rout them. It looks like we've hit a murderous rage. All of our units are getting their boost here. Our Black Dragon is on the ground. And we're doing a fair amount of damage against some of these mace Saru warriors. Some of the Halberdiers are engaged across the line. And most of our artillery have probably been engaged by the looks of it as well. Just trying to keep up the pressure on all these units. Let's try and get some of the attention on these guys. Keep the pressure up on them. We want to kill some of these large beasts if we can. So since there's some cudgel infantry coming towards us, we shall charge them. Oh, the raptors did a lot of damage there. Some of them jived over the enemy front line. No idea what's going on there. I want to keep these greatsword people involved in the fight. Our War Hydra is still well stuck in trying to cause damage to the enemy. I think he's probably causing as much damage to our own troops as anything. Something bad is happening there. Let's try and re-engage the units where we can. Oh, there's some spear infantry there. Let's get them engaged. Then we have got 2 units to deal against. We should have our Black Dragon, should be around here somewhere. It is routing some units, so let's bring him back into the fight and attack these temple guards. I think this battle is turning against us. I don't think things look particularly good. There's a little bit too much to command at once. This is such an epic fight. Our War Hydra is valiantly fighting on, but it is taking a fair amount of damage. Our casualties absolutely everywhere. I'd say we're winning this side of the fight, but if the archers focus their attention on the ancient Stegodon, that will probably be a good target. Getting stuck into that bit of the fight over there. What's our dragon doing? Okay, he's in a fight trying to relieve these people, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Our units are completely surrounded there and are fighting on. Spear infantry are being sort of pushed quite hard at that point. Because some of our Dark Riders look like they're in full retreat. Our Raptors are still fighting on, although they are starting to struggle a bit now. What else have we got? We've got some Black Ark Corsairs. Let's try and get these stuck in. This Stegodon is still fighting on, although it's getting a bit weaker now. It's actually starting to waver a bit as well. They're still taking more archer fire. What have we got left to fight with to stick back in the fight? We've got some bleak swords over here. Maybe we can get them stuck in. But the battle is really starting to turn against us. Our lines have completely broken now. Our War Hydra is absolutely exhausted and is valiantly fighting on. But I don't think it's going to be able to do a lot else. I think it's broken. No, that's not so good. This guy can't use his Noxious Breath because he's engaged in melee. Oh, I completely forgot about these. That was silly. I completely forgot about these harpies we've got at the back of the map. Let's use these to come in and try and help what we can from our Black Dragon. doing a very valiant job of holding off these guys all by himself. There's even a Stegodon in here getting involved. I would have thought the Black Dragon was probably going to rout shortly. Looks like our War Hydra, which is running from the field. Come back, War Hydra. I love you. Just try and keep our people in the fight, but I think they're struggling a little bit to get involved. Even our Lord of Fear is fearing. Okay, so this guy has reformed. We can maybe try and use some of his Fire Breath ability. Particularly on these people that are here looking like... oh wow. Oh wow. 5 heads started firing fire at once. So let's move in to try and support what we can with this War Hydra against these guys. Wow. It's quite an effective opening move. Our Harpies are starting to arrive on scene. We should have perhaps attack this little very wounded Stegodon that's slowly lumbering its way across. There's not a lot left of our archers. A few of our halberdiers are still just about in the fight. Try and keep these guys shooting. We're going to have to rotate round to get shots on those guys. As our Harpies are engaging and attacking this Stegodon, which is wavering a little bit. I think it might be dying, maybe. It's right teetering on the edge of its health. So I would expect it to die. It's broken ranks. It's trying to run away. I mean, you can't blame it. It's got no health left and it's exhausted. There's a few, some enemy sort of not raptor type cavalry as well, sort of flying around. These are similar to what was left of our cavalry. But everything's routing. And we were defeated. That did not end quite so well as I intended. But that was definitely a very good fight. It's just an absolute slaughter on the ground. Dead things everywhere. Particularly some of the big Stegodon things didn't really make it. At least our War Hydra didn't die, but unfortunately he did run away. Well, we actually had very similar losses. Actually, pretty equal losses, about 1,400 men each, but still not enough to actually win the battle. But I hope you enjoyed that fight. That was quite an enjoyable little game to play. A little bit different from what I normally do, but it's quite good doing pitched battles like that. We'll perhaps have to try that with a few other different factions. Introduce maybe some of the human factions with some of their epic artillery and other things they've got available. If you like this video, give the video a like and let me know what you think in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel for more Total War content of all different types. Thanks for watching, guys, and I shall see you on the next video.